Good day, everyone. I am M.Gnyaneshwari. Today, we have taken Post-Independent India, that is, the 9th chapter in history. In this unit, you will learn about the effects of partition of India, refugees issues, reorganization of states, problem of formation of government, integration of princely states. 15th August 1947 was a day of joy as well trouble for India. Independence was earned with lots of sacrifices and difficulties. Partition of the country had also created a lot of problems. Before learning how the government handled the situation, we need to analyze the situation that was created at that point of time. On the very first point, the partition of the country had created new problems. The country was burnt in communal fire. Millions of people from both the countries tried to choose their future in both the countries. It was a great challenge to offer shelter and food to refugees who arrived into the country. The number of people who arrived in India was more than the number that went into Pakistan. Secondly, the integration of princely states into the federal structure of India was a bigger problem. British India was divided into what were called the British Indian provinces and the princely states. There were 562 princely states in India by then. Most of the states, after showing initial hesitations, agreed to join the Indian federal structure. But Kashmir, Junagadh in north and Hyderabad in south did not agree to join the federal structure easily. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel handled this challenge efficiently and won success. He was successful in protecting the internal security of the nation. He also set in motion the task of attaining national integration. On to the third point is our economy. Partition had damaged the economic system of India deeply. There was a need to relook into the commerce, industry and trade in order to provide better stability. Because the colonial power that had completely acquired the resources of India for more than 2 centuries. Dadabhai Naoroji has discussed this issue more in his drain theory. There was a drain of wealth from India to England during colonial rule. It was mainly in the form of salary, taxes and gifts. He proved that the economic drain under the British rule is the root cause of poverty in India. Fourthly was the challenge of creating Indian Constitution. It had to find its stability under the new constitution and had to emerge as democratic republic. Under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the Constitutional Drafting Committee gave India a draft constitution. This draft constitution was accepted by the Constituent Assembly and gave India a unique constitution. This enabled the strengthening of executive, legislature and judiciary. Now that India got its freedom after years of struggle, it even had to protect it from its enemies. So it had to strengthen its military forces also. The present military power of India is nowhere inferior to that of at that time. We need to look back into the history to know about its beginning. Yes, it was indeed a good start. Now, the sixth point was regarding gender and caste-based discrimination, which was natural to Indian society. There was a need to strengthen the social fabric to establish social equality. It also had to formulate new foreign policy and make arrangements for financial resources. India successfully faced all these challenges and emerged as the largest democratic country of the world. Due to many religions and numerous invasions of foreign rulers into India, it is said that thousands of people have lost their lives in communal violence than in wars. The clash that takes place on the grounds of religion creates panic in all the societies. Historically, India's experience is not different. Basically, India is a country of many religions due to numerous invasions of foreign rulers. This internal clashes based on the diversity was used by the British as a tool or even an advantage to create divide and rule policy. Divide and rule policy entered into the public life, leading to communal violence between Hindu and Muslims, which took a nasty turn and resulted in many communal clashes, leading to untold miseries. As a result, when India was partitioned in 1947, the North India had to face a lot of communal violence. Lakhs of Hindus and Muslims died in these communal clashes. On one hand, India was celebrating its independence in New Delhi. On the other hand, Gandhiji was at Naukoli and other places to meet victims, consoling them. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who became the first Prime Minister of independent India, could settle his administration on the basis of priority and could calm down the communal violence within months after independence. These evil violences made Nehru to think about forming a secular nation. These incidents helped him to adopt secular principles in its constitution. Along with all the efforts of Nehru, even the leaders like Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad and Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan opposed the idea of dividing Pakistan. They tried to stop but could not. The communal clashes have continued till date. There are international angles for communal clashes. Under the Indian Constitution, we have accepted religion as the personal choice of the individual. It foresees a situation where India remains a secular country. The Indians need to understand this intention of the Constitution and live accordingly. Let's figure out the problems faced by the people who moved in and out of India. Soon after the partition, the refugee crisis became a huge problem. During this period, millions of people tried to find future in either of the countries. They had to leave their native places and move toward the place where people from their religion were in a majority. Around 6 million refugees arrived in India, but by 1951, most of the refugees from Pakistan were taken care. Than the West Pakistan, the crisis of East Pakistan, Bangladesh, continued for a very long time. It was caught in severe communal violence soon after the partition. As a result, the refugees were arriving till 1971. For the British India, Bengal was their major province. Bengal Vimochana movement was launched after the Bengal partition, which could finally liberate the Bangladesh. The war resulted in arrival of 10 lakh refugees to India. They were helped by the government of India, government of Tripura, Meghalaya, Assam to resettle them and find new hope of life in India. Since most of the refugees from Bangladesh knew Bengali, they attempted to settle in Bengal more. As a result, there was huge stress on West Bengal. Moreover, during 1960s and 1970s, India itself faced economic crisis. Major famines destroyed our financial security. Still, India did not leave its humanitarian concern and tried to provide better refugee facilities for them. The people of Tibet also arrived in our country as refugees. Onto an estimation, around 1,20,000 Tibetan refugees came into India. In 1960, government of Karnataka sanctioned 3,000 acres of land to Tibetan refugees at Bailukuppe, and now it has grown as one of the major Tibetan settlement in India. In spite of all these problems, their arrival has enriched our cultural diversity. Apart from those problems, we have to know the problems of the formation of new government of independence. When the independence was declared on August 15, 1947, an interim government was formed. Lord Mountbatten became the Governor General of India. Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of India. On 26th January 1950, the Indian Constitution was adopted. With the implementation of the Constitution, Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad became the first President of India. The Constitution declared India as the sovereign democratic republic. Later, through 42nd Amendment to the Constitution, words like secular and socialist were added in the year 1976. Government of India followed an independent foreign policy. India adopted parliamentary type of democracy.